what did I think of Falcon and the title's too long? Well, I'm not going to cover all the things that everybody else have covered, all the Friday Night Tights people, because that would just be rehashing and whatnot. What really bugs me about everything that went on in Falcon and Winter Soldier is standard operating procedure. Not a single guideline was ever followed, not once, the entire duration of that show. It's very clear that nobody at Disney has ever read a Department of Defense manual. Nobody at Disney has ever been in the military or have family in the military or relatives or acquaintances or maybe a tertiary friend somewhere along the line. They know the military by clout and by the news. They see that I'm not a soldier, but I play one on TV. That bugs me. That it really, and it annoys the crap out of me, because the guidelines and the rules of engagement, first of all, and they should have addressed that. The rules of engagement that have been set in place for the last 25 years, well, 20 years at least, by politicians, people who never see combat, people who are not even combat service support. They're the people who set these rules. By the way, we're the only country that follows them in the first place. And when I was on active duty, this is the white paper I got, the rules of engagement we were told. You do not fire unless actively fired upon, which means if somebody is shooting at you from a covered location, and then they drop their weapon and walk across the street and pick up another weapon and then fire it at you, and then drop that weapon and walk across the street and pick up another weapon and fire that at you, you cannot actively engage that person unless they have a weapon pointed at you squeezing the trigger. While they're walking across the street, you are not allowed to engage. Once they've dropped their weapon, you are not allowed to engage. You are not allowed to fire upon them. So with that being said, the rundown with John Walker, he shouldn't have murdered the guy with a shield. But what were the rules of engagement? What were his orders? Obviously, he's superheroes work outside of the Geneva Conventions, and superheroes work outside of the Geneva Conventions. And that's pretty much what all of Age of Ultron was about, and the following movies. It didn't make sense. It didn't make sense that once Steve hands the shield off to Sam, that should have been it. Like, hey, this is mine. This is cool, and I don't need it because I'm my own man with agency. I don't need the shield. These are guys that are basically mercenaries, and per DoD regulations, if John Walker is operating on foreign soil with a license to kill, and he does, and there's just cameras everywhere. Oops. He shouldn't have been, shouldn't have been dishonorably discharged. Come on. But I see the optics of it, where they go, you're dishonorably discharged, just in front of cameras, so they can whitewash him again and come about with another character. Like, hey, you're a super soldier, you're an asset. Beyond that, the number 1 through 10 thing that really pissed me off: people other than who look like me have been serving in our military for a very long time. The last group to have a problem, as I understand things, as I remember it, are Sikhs, because they don't teach other religions or other customs in most of American schools. So all of us dumb Americans know is a turban, and therefore turbans are bad for something. I would understand something like that, but no, we have to rehash these. What they've done is they've reopened a surgery wound with a screwdriver. Black men have been serving in our military for a very long time. Some would say since the beginning, voluntarily. When they tell these lies, blatant, obvious, in-your-face lies, they are diminishing the sacrifices of better people than those stupid actors, as Gary calls them, professional pretenders. And I can see my eyes getting a little damp in the camera. It really pisses me off, because the most honorable men I ever served with, some of the most honorable men I've ever served with, do not look like me. Some of the most honorable men I've ever served with, men and women, they don't hold my skin color. They may not even hold my religion. The most respected, the most respected men and women that I served with don't necessarily look like me. 2 of my drill instructors, actually 4 of my drill instructors, were not white. Only one of my staff sergeants was white out of 4. For Disney to write, to okay, to approve, the editors approved the line, no self-respecting black man would ever wear that shield. I won't cuss because of the algorithm. No, you have spat in the face of every single service member who was not white, who ever served since 1774. That line alone really pissed me off, and it took me. It's not the only thing that took me out of the show, but it was incredibly offensive. I'm offended on their behalf. I'm going to be a Karen about this. For one, no self-respecting black man. Okay? Well, hold on a second. Let me show you something. Hey, Disney, are these self-respecting black men? What about the black men on this page? Are these self-respecting black men? What about these guys? Huh? How about that one? Any self-respecting black men on this page? And a couple of them here too. A few of them on that one. How about that? I got a few more. A couple of them, yeah? Yeah? Any self-respecting black men, Disney? Huh? Hey, look. Receiving. Oh, look. Self-respecting black man. Look at that. Look at that. Whole bunch of self-respecting black men in that group. Right there. See that crowd? Yep. There's a few in this one somewhere, yeah. Fox Company, Camp Pendleton, 2008, yeah, something like that. I don't know, there's a few of them in this one too. Yeah. HMLA 169, world famous Vipers, December 2009. I'm sure there are a few in that crowd. All of my sergeant majors. Every single sergeant major I ever had. Now, I wouldn't take it so personal if Disney didn't direct it to be so personal. Current year politics don't look good. It's not a good look. I mean, if Disney picked another civil rights issue to go about, sure. Let's cover what's going on in China. Let's cover I don't know, the Balkans, things that are still going on. That whole issue with girls being kidnapped in Africa. By the way, they murdered all the boys in the school. You could have covered 1,000 different things, and I don't know. You get my point. I don't want to end a video like that. I'll throw this in there. What Disney could have done, what they should have done, what they had the ability to do well before anybody put pen to paper. It's in the comic books. Just film the comic books. The relationship dynamic between Bucky and Sam. They don't have to hate each other. It doesn't make sense for them to hate each other. I mean, yeah, there's elements of it. But these are the last remaining two of a trio friendship that doesn't exist anymore. I don't know what happened to Steve. We'll get to that in a second. They're two bros who have been in combat against each other and together. They fought side by side. They know each other. What could have and should have happened is the relationship dynamic between Bucky and Sam should have been one of, we lost our friend and we need to get through this. How do we get through this? We need to be bros ourselves. They could have been bros, and they started off that way, and then they screwed something up, and then they ended up finally in the place where they should have been at the beginning of this season. I mean, Sam was Gary talked about it. Sam was he actually ran a veteran support group. So they should be able to talk this stuff out, you know. Okay, let's not talk this out. Okay? Let's not talk this out. Let's meet every Friday and toast. Let's meet every Saturday and drink our memories away. Let's humanize the ever-loving crap out of these people who should be. I mean, that's what we're doing in the first place. Let's humanize these people and make them characters that are dealing with some real heavy stuff. I mean, who else fights a giant? Who else fights Thanos? You know, it could have been so much better, and that's Disney's constant problem is just a missed opportunity. By the way, where's Steve? Did he die? Did I miss the funeral? Couldn't Sam and Bucky have gone, hey, what did Steve really want? I don't know, let's go visit him in the nursing home. Hey Steve, what did you mean by this? Oh, it's Sam's. Oh, okay. Is it cool if I give it to Bucky since I got the wings and oh yeah, well, I'm not really, it's yours. So, oh, okay, it's mine. It's mine forever. Okay, well, cool then. I'm Captain America. Done. I just saved you 8 episodes. I just saved 8 episodes and the problem that everybody's had. And by the way, you're telling me that they couldn't make a phone call to Pepper and ask for some money, or oh, okay. So the Department of Defense has this thing called back pay. Sam could have had enough back pay to just walk into the bank and throw down a big wad of cash and say, "I'm buying my boat. Yeah, here's the mortgage. By the way, we're..." Actually, he wouldn't even need the bank. He would just go, "There you go. Here's my money," to whoever he owed it to besides the bank. Buy a couple of houses and a couple of new cars, and while you're at it, jet skis and all kinds of new toys. But they had to throw that agenda and politics into the movie, and it's stupid. That whole scene of no self-respecting black man irked me, man. It really did. I stopped watching it right. I mean, I had to pause it and come back to it later. It was really stupid. Well, I'm glad my friends died so Disney could piss on their graves.